Few names in history carry as much weight as Karl Marx. To some, he was a visionary who exposed the injustice of capitalism. To others, he was a dangerous radical who inspired revolutions and upheavals. But love him or hate him, one thing is undeniable. Karl Marx changed the way we see society, power, and history. Born in 1818 in Trier, Germany, Marx was a curious and restless child. He studied philosophy, law, and history, but he was never content with just theory. He wanted action. For Marx, philosophy wasn't about abstract debates. It was about real people, real struggles, and the harsh realities of life under an unequal system. At the heart of Marx's thought was a simple but powerful idea: class struggle. He believed that history was not driven by kings or heroes, but by the conflict between those who owned wealth and those who produced it. In his time, this meant the battle between the bourgeoisie, the factory owners and capitalists, and the proletariat, the workers who toiled endlessly for survival. Marx argued that capitalism, while powerful, was built on exploitation. The rich grew richer not by working harder, but by extracting value from the labor of the poor. This inequality, he believed, would eventually lead to crisis and revolution. Together with his lifelong friend Friedrich Engels, Marx wrote the Communist Manifesto in 1848. Just 23 pages long, it contained words that shook the world. Workers of the world, unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains. This wasn't just a book, it was a call to action. But Marx was not only a revolutionary, he was also a scholar. His massive work, Das Kapital, dissected how capitalism functioned, exposing its inner contradictions. Though dense and difficult, it became a cornerstone for understanding economics and social systems. Yet, Marx's own life was far from wealthy or comfortable. He lived much of it in poverty, struggling to support his family, often relying on help from Engels. He buried 3 of his children, suffered constant illness, spent endless nights in the library of the British Museum researching and writing. Despite these hardships, Marx never gave up. His ideas spread far and wide, influencing movements, revolutions, and governments across the globe. In Russia, China, Cuba, and beyond, leaders claimed Marx as their inspiration, though not always in ways he might have imagined. Today, more than 200 years later, Marx remains controversial. Some see him as a prophet of justice, others as the cause of bloody regimes. But his analysis of inequality, exploitation, and power still sparks debate in classrooms, boardrooms, and protests around the world. Karl Marx was not just a thinker, he was a rebel, a fighter, and a man who dared to dream of a world without oppression. Whether we agree with him or not, we still live in a world shaped by his questions. Who holds the power? Who does the work and who reaps the reward?